How do you deal with COPD on a daily basis?
Well, the first thing that I had to learn was to do things slower.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Instead of cleaning the house in one day, it might take me 3 days. I have to rest.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be sure that I use my inhaler as I'm supposed to.
Uh-huh.
And I can't do anything strenuous.
Nothing too strenuous. All right. So what are the kind of medications that you take for COPD?
Right now I'm using Advair.
Mm-hmm.
It's an inhaler. I've used Spiriva, which is also basically the same kind of inhaler.
Mm-hmm.
It opens up the airways in your lungs so that it's easier for me to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
The Advair I only have to use once a day. I have to be careful that I'm not getting an infection.
Right.
And so that's why I have to make sure that I use my Advair or whatever I'm using on a daily basis.
So do you ever find any obstacles or struggles in your COPD that prevent you from performing daily activities?
Yes. For one thing, talking too much.
Yeah.
If I get a lot of telephone calls or somebody comes over and I have a big long-winded argument or conversation,
Mm-hmm.
I lose my voice and it's hard for me to talk.
Mm-hmm.
If I do too much walking, I do a certain amount so that I can keep up my strength, but if I do too much, then I can't breathe again. So
Right.
everything I have to do, I have to do a little at a time.
So trips like going to the grocery store and things like that are difficult, or
Yes.
is it can be difficult?
It can be. I don't go to 3 grocery stores in one
Right.
day like
That
I
would be
used
too
to.
much.
That's too much.
Right. So you do a lot of relaxing time, like a lot of downtime?
Yes. I like to read, which
Mm-hmm.
is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to talk when I read.
Right.
So I can lay down and do something like that, but I'll clean a room and then I'll lay down on the couch and read for a little while and then get up and do something else. But I have to rest in between doing things.
Right. Well, what are ways that you can manage your COPD? Or
Slowly,
slowly?
by just doing everything slower,
Mm-hmm.
not rushing into anything,
Yeah.
not being in a hurry to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
and taking my medicine.
And taking the medicine, of course. Well, if you had one thing you could tell people in the future, for their future, to help prevent COPD, what would that be?
Oh, don't smoke.
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke.
Yeah.
I listened to people say that before a long time ago, don't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And I really never paid much attention to it.
Right.
Now I have to pay attention to it every single day.
Every day.
So don't smoke. It's
Don't smoke.
stupid.
Yeah. Number one choice.
And it smells.
And it smells. Is there things that you have to do to help prevent shortness of breath or getting winded after?
Resting.
Just resting, pretty much. Reading. What kind of daily activities do you do?
I do just about everything I used to do, but it takes me a full week, not 2 days.
Right.
I had to stop mowing my yards.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop raking, things that I always did before. A lot of everything just takes me 4 times as long,
4 times as long
as it used to before,
Right.
and it's getting progressively worse.
Progressively worse.
As I get older and things get worse, you
Mm-hmm.
develop, your lungs get worse because there's no cure.
Right.
You can only maintain, and then you can only maintain for so long, and there isn't anything that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not breathing.
Right. So you'd say the symptom that you experience the most with COPD would be shortness of breath?
Absolutely.
Nothing else really? Just pretty much shortness of breath all the time?
Pretty much that's it. It's shortness of breath.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to live without breathing.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. If you find yourself with shortness of breath, are there things you do to help treat that?
Yes. I have a class that I take one day a week on Saturday morning.
Mhm.
And it's with about 13 people, and you have to talk sometimes. You're asked questions, you have conversations, discussions about different things. And there are times when I get short of breath. And if I do, I have my puffer.
Mhm.
And I can use this at least once or even 2 times a day if it gets to be bad, if
Right.
I'm really having trouble breathing or talking. And then that will opens up your airways
Okay.
and gives you a headache, but
Yeah.
one's better than the other.
Yeah. Better to breathe.